Oh, hi there! Welcome to another exciting episode of It's Your Garden, the gardening show for the non-professional, brought to you by a non-professional. Today, we are going to be working on our container garden. We have several containers here that I repurposed from my father-in-law. He was planting some shrubs, each of which came in one of these buckets. Pretty solid, pretty sturdy, black, got good drain holes in the bottom. And these are what we're going to plant our container garden in. If you don't happen to have any of these laying around, you can pick some up for free at the recycling center in Joplin at 1310 West A Street. Especially during planting season, they have tons of containers there for free, so head on over there if you need some containers. Today we are going to plant some tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, and we're also going to try to do our Three Sisters planting even in a container. Not sure how well it will work, but that's the great thing about gardening is you get to experiment all the time. See what works, see what doesn't. Let's get started.
This portion of It's Your Garden is brought to you by Mostly Clogged Sink.
Are you tired of wasting tens of gallons of water every day, simply rinsing your dishes? Yes! Yes, I am! I find it foolish and unnerving! Well, now you don't have to, thanks to a Mostly Clogged Sink! With a Mostly Clogged Sink, if you rinse normally, the sink will fill and overflow. Mostly Clogged Sink forces you to just use a trickle to rinse your dishes. Ultimately, it will save you gallons and gallons of water. Wow! Thanks, Mostly Clogged Sink. You're welcome. Who knew bad plumbing could be such a blessing? Order your Mostly Clogged Sink today.
This portion of It's Your Garden was brought to you by Mostly Clogged Sink. Welcome to Gardening in 60 Seconds. This year, I planted potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers in my garden. Normally, you want to rotate crops each year to a new bed and wait a few years before bringing those back to the original bed. The reason for rotation is that if the crop stays in one place, pests and disease will build up in that area. Rotating crops can break the cycle. Pests and disease tend to attack the same botanical families of plants. So, if you're interplanting with different crops, make sure families stay together as they move from bed to bed. This ensures that pests don't build up by being fed with the same family year after year. In my garden, I have all members of the Solanaceae family, also known as nightshades. This includes tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. Because these crops all have the same family, they can even be grafted together. You could make a Frankenstein plant with potato roots and peppers and tomatoes on top. This has been Gardening in 60 Seconds.
We have our containers all planted. This one here's got some peppers in it. We've got several different types of tomato, and in each of those with the tomatoes I also planted a marigold. Keep pests away. My sons are very helpfully transplanting dirt from one bed to another. In these two buckets here, I've got the Three Sisters planted. We'll see how that goes in a container. And I also have some potatoes in a container. Some of the recommendations for container planting say that you should knock out the bottom of them so that they can grow into the ground. But I've left it in these just to see what happens. I also didn't fill these very high, that way I would be able to mound as the potatoes grew taller. Thanks for watching. Get out there and have fun. But remember, it's your garden! Oh, hi there. Welcome to another... And try some...
Yes! Yes, I am! I find it... Well, now you don't have to! Thanks to the... Well, now you don't have to! Well, now you don't have to! Thanks to... I find it foolish and unnerving!